I look for a younger female, a younger female with a backpack or something, because the first thing I'm going to think is, okay, she's leaving home. She's leaving home for a reason. More than likely, she just got into it with her parents, or she decides she wants to run away from home, and
Of the children who flee or are kicked out of their homes each year, nearly a third turn to sex for food, drugs, or a place to stay. In New York City, at the busiest bus terminal in the country, police officer Martin Jacquard sees himself as the last line of defense in preventing that from happening.
If you're a 15, 16-year-old girl from somewhere else and you come up here and you have no resources, you have no way to fall back on, you have no family, you have nothing, the chances of you in this area coming in contact with somebody who's going to abuse you is, in my opinion, strong. There are pimps here who meet the girls, they befriend them, and they're good. I mean, I watch them.
Every morning when he gets to work, Officer Jacquard walks down to the Greyhound ticket area of the bus terminal, looking for kids alone, on the run, and at risk. They come from all over the country. Some look 12, others 30. They all look scared, like one girl he remembers.
She had on a very, very dirty white shirt and dirty ripped up jeans, and as a male, I don't know, that's like 5-inch heels, red heels, and she was stumbling. She just had this look about it. I'm like, where are you going? She's like, oh, I'm going over here. I'm like, how old are you? 15. I'm like, where are you from? Illinois? I said, you got to come back. I bring her back, walk her in there, sit her down. She proceeds to tell me that she came here yesterday. She came in late at night, went upstairs, met a pimp. She had no money, she had no food. He said, I'll take you to this place, I'll give you a place to sleep, I'll give you some food. He gave her some food, gave her a place to sleep. He said, okay, I did this for you, now you have to do this for me, or I'll kill you. And she was going to turn her first trick when I stopped her.
This call is from an inmate at a federal prison.
It really doesn't boil down to money. If she in it for just the money, then it's not going to really work out. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The girl has to be so love drunk, if you will, off of me to where as though she would do anything.
In phone interviews and letters, more than 24 convicted pimps described how they're many things to the girls they control. Father figure, landlord, boss, boyfriend. The pimps see themselves as talent managers, not exploiters.
I make sure she has what she needs, personal hygiene, take her, get her nails done, take her to buy an outfit, spend time with her, take her out to eat, make her feel wanted, but I don't give her any money.
And what they take is total control, through violence or otherwise.
You didn't hear what I said when you called me?
I'm lost.
You lost. Now, I'm never...
lost. I don't know where I am. The Bronx Parkway is flooded and it made me get off, and I don't know where I am. It's hard to say. I don't even know how to get to there from here anymore.
I know you better shut the f*** up while you're driving my car and act like you got some sense. Are you deaf?
Yes, I heard you.
No. Let me know when you hear me. Like you want to say, yeah, I bye, and have a smart f***ing mouth. Then you want to cry like a little girl, tired of going over the same dumb with you every f***ing day.
It begs the question, why would anyone stay in a relationship so abusive?
Some women do it because, they want to be in a better predicament than what they're in.
The pimp, although it's a very exploitive relationship, is going to provide food, lodging, and some sort of emotional something. Even if it's all negative, at least it's better than nothing for a lot of these women.
And that's what FBI agent Dan Garibrandt has to compete with in the hours after a girl is arrested for prostitution. He's brought in to convince her to leave the streets, and, if possible, to get her to turn, or flip, on her pimp. Problem is, he rarely succeeds. He gets the girls when they're too scared, too entangled.
I never ever go into it telling the girl up front, the goal is for you to turn against this guy that has taken care of you. If you approach it from the point of view that the goal is to flip, the girl sees right through that, and you end up with nothing.
When Nicole Clark was 14, she ran away from her group home in Medford, Oregon. She spent weeks sleeping in parks and under bridges. Finally, her situation was so dire that she went home with a man who offered her a place to stay. The price would come later.
You ever have that feeling when your stomach feels so tight and it hurts so bad? You feel so ashamed, all sweaty and dirty, that you feel like you don't care about yourself anymore? That's how it felt. He became my boyfriend. I was being used by him. He would actually pass me around to his friends. He was getting money from his friends. Basically, that's how it started.
Nicole says she felt trapped. He threatened to kick her out if she didn't do what he wanted, and she didn't have any place else to go. She entered a downward spiral of prostitution that lasted for 14 months, ending when she became pregnant.
I made a vow when I quit at 15 that summer of August. I would never, ever prostitute again.
It almost sounds like a choice, but it's hardly that simple. Byron Fassett, a Dallas police sergeant, figured out why. He discovered that 80% of prostituted children run away 4 or more times a year. And in that statistic, he figured out that these are kids whose lives, whose behavior has narrowed their options. They're choosing survival, and for them, prostitution seems like their only means. Back at the bus terminal, Officer Jacquard hopes to catch these runaways before things get so desperate, before they think they have no choice, before the pimps find them first.
I saw a young girl in the corner by herself with a lot of bags, had a very frightened look on her face. Approached her, and she said, "Oh no, I'm okay, I'm 18. I said, "Okay, do you have any identification?" "I have no identification." She was a little hesitant on her date of birth. Brought her back here, and then she started to open up to us about really what was going on. She claimed that she was the victim of some abuse at home, that there were some cultural issues where her family didn't like who she was dating. She was petrified of her father. They just have a look. Kids who are being victimized have a look. They just have a lost look about them, and you can tell right away.